Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin report for Wednesday, March the 2nd. I just thought I'd start on a blank screen here for a moment and just looking at some of the possibilities first. So, is it possible to look at this here in three waves and in this in three waves and and then look at this in three waves and basically finish here, because that is 5 waves to that point there and come down from that point? So that's possible. Okay, that's one scenario. The other scenario is that we've got some sort of A, B and C correction over here. So in that case we would be quite clear that that's 1 and 2 here, nice strong third wave here, look for the fourth wave and the fifth wave here, and then fail at that point. It's also possible that if we look at this all being bullish in one way or another, then after 5 waves here, then we would get an ABC correction and then we would move up further at that point. So they're basically all the things that can happen at this point. So we could have 3 waves up here and then move straight down from that point, but it was rather sharp for a C wave up here as an ABC wave up here for that. The C wave is a bit more lazy, so it's probably that we're going to get 5 waves up here. So look, we'll get 5 waves up here, it'll be part of this as an A and a B and a C, and then we come down from that point. So or we continue to go up. This is that simple. So really we can look at it just with a bit of patience. We can go 1, 2, 3, we'll go into wave 4 here and then wave 5. When we get to the top here, no matter what happens, be it bullish or bearish, we're going to get a move back down anyway. So we'll just see what that move is. If it's corrective, well then we can buy long over here on the B wave and then go up from that point. Otherwise it's going to work itself lower. So yeah, it's highly likely we're going to see more upside here for this. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell. They're the two sort of basic options that could occur. Now that said, it does appear that the move to the upside here, it looks like it's a nice strong third wave up here, doesn't it? But I'm thinking that if I'll just label it here for a moment, we're going to label it wave 2 here. I didn't mean to have it in caps then, but wave 2 here, and then we're going to put wave 3 way up here for that, because this is highly likely here just to be wave 1 here and then coming back for wave 2 here. That's the probability, that's the highest probability at this point, and I'll explain why. I'll just fill in these little dots here, so just to give us an idea of what we're looking at, and then 5 waves up here for wave 5. And of course the 50,000 is the balance line within the whole correction that's been going on for ages. So getting support on the balance line will also be a bullish move. So it looks like we're in a bullish move here. It kind of, I was thinking about it a little bit, and I think that the conflict with the on the European borders there, that Russia doesn't have any access to USD at the moment, and their ruble is dropping 30-40%. So the only thing they can really buy is Bitcoin, I reckon. So I think that that could be part of the push. Anyway, that's just speculation, but hey, that's the game that we're in. So yeah, look, this is the possibility here for all of this. Okay, now the situation with this move down through here, this move here, we can count it as 5 waves, but we'd have to force it as 5 waves, which I'm kind of okay to do. I don't normally like doing that. It counts also quite nicely as a corrective wave up there. But the trouble with this is, as a corrective wave up here, it didn't make a new low. This counts down here quite nicely as 5 waves, but it didn't take the low out here. Well, it did on some of the markets. So this is the a crypto index. There's quite a few of them, and it's just the top 10. So with the top 10 here, from the top here, we can count it down as 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third wave, fourth wave, and fifth, and we make a new low down here. So on this crypto index, we could look at, well, the wave 4 being in low here. And if that is the case, then we could look at this move down here as being a truncated 5th wave. Now, I'm not saying that that's the that's the truth of the matter, but I'm saying it's a possibility. Because the other possibilities we've got here, I mean, if we can put wave 4 over here, for instance, which is also a possibility, but we're forcing this to be wave 1 over here, and then we would force this to be wave 2 over here, and I'm quite happy with that as well, by the by. But if we're going to look at this as the low over here, and then this is actually a corrective move here, then we'll be highly likely being in the triangle pattern that we're looking at. So if we go to the daily chart here for a moment, and I can't remember what, let me just move a few things out of the way. I can't remember exactly what chart it was on. Was it this one? No, it was on this one. So yeah, I mean, if we look at it, let me just clean these up here. I've been chatting before. So if we were talking triangle patterns, then this move up here as a corrective move would be fine. You know, we can look at it as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here. You know, coming up into this area and then coming down. But I have to say, even as a, you know, even if we look at this as a bullish move with wave 4, I mean, wave 4 would be over here. But if we looked at wave 4 being in place here as well, there's not going to be a lot of difference between you know, going up this way or going up to here and coming back and going up. So there's not a lot of difference. So it's highly likely that you know, we either have 5 waves to here and we come down again in line with equities, because there's a bit of pressure on US banks. Like the S&P has stayed above its previous low here, and so a lot of the other indices, but the banks have dropped below, the US banks have dropped below this their previous low here, so they're opening up a can of worms to the downside. So they're probably holding rubles, they're probably holding the Russian ruble, so we'll see. And I'm just speculating again, but yeah, so I want to go back to where I was before on this 5-tick chart here for a moment. Where were we? Here, 5,000 ticks, and we'll just bring in a bit more data again. Oh, that was overkill. We didn't need that much there, so we'll just plonk it in there. So one of the things, one of the reasons that I have got, because I said I would explain it and I didn't. So this move up here, why isn't it wave 3 when it looks so strong? And the reason for that is comes in across on the on Ethereum here, because on Ethereum here, this leg here, right, would be this leg here. On Bitcoin, it's really moved up quite strongly, hasn't it? You know, that's why I think the Russians are sort of trading their ruble for it. But on the Ethereum here, it has moved up quite strongly. It's got nice moves in it, but it's not really any longer than this one here, than the first wave, you know? So it would only be logical to label this one here as wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then wave 1 and 2 here. And while we're here, we'll just go over that a little bit. So for 1, we've got the A, the B, and the C wave down here for wave 2. I have to look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, the third wave, fourth wave, and the fifth wave. So now we've got wave 1 in the top here. We've got also the A wave here going up for a B wave. Could I look at this as a expanded flat here? Probably, but wave B here and then down for wave C here. So wave C can pull back to the 50-60% retracement level. Normally there's some sort of equality between these two guys, so somewhere down here anyway for that. In terms of going long, I think you can pretty much go long anywhere really, especially for hodlers. But the other question is that at 3,000 here, you know, normally when I go long, I want the closest largest number. And in this case, the 3,000, I would want that as support. So we would look for the first high above the level and then some type of, you know, go long above here. I'll just move that because we will go long above there. We're long in Bitcoin at the moment anyway. So, and here and here. So that's where you'd go long from there, but you could buy this pullback here as well. So in terms of, this is the arrival here, and we're looking at the reaction here, and then we're looking at the first high above the level. So in terms of the classic trading levels pattern, we've got the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level. If this is the 3,000 across here, pulling back here. So, you know, as a trader, is to exit here and then to move back in over here. But, you know, in stocks, that distance could be a month, it could be 3 months, it could be 6 months, it could be even longer. In short-term trading, it can be, very short. So there's no point in sort of exiting, just adding to the positions. But anyway, that was the point of just pointing out that this move here is shorter than this one, and wave 3 should be much longer. So in that case, that one here, we can label this, it'd be better to label this as wave 1 rather than wave 3 here. And this here will also have a little ABC pattern here and then move up into wave 3 at the top here. We can have a closer look at all of that. So just coming back for a moment, do we call this the low? Do we call this the low? These are the unresolved questions, but it will be resolved as the market moves up higher here. So just coming back into the bigger picture here for a moment, 200, go into the daily chart to start with. We've been looking at the market in a couple of different ways. One of them, we've been looking at it with, 3, an A and a B and a C here for wave 4. And looking at that as a low, and then 1 and 2 here, and then we're building, we're building up through here now on that, and it's looking pretty chirpy. So normally we would see wave 3, so 1 and 2 here. We would normally see wave 3 somewhere around the old highs over here, so that would give us wave 4, and then wave 5 up here. So we're looking at between 72 and 80 up here for that move. The other way that we can count this too is on this chart here, where we're looking at this as the low here. It's a bit of a long shot. I'm just sharing ideas, and it's okay to throw stuff at me, but I will dodge them because I think there is half a silly chance that this could be okay here, because I do, as I mentioned, I do see it on this crypto index here. It's 2,000 ticks, but it does nip the low out here for that, and it does give a reasonable 5-wave structure down here. So it's possible, but anyway, it'll all come out in the wash as this progresses up here. And if it progresses up here, then we'll know what's what, because it will just become apparent. We'll just see it. So the other point that I wanted to make here, and I mentioned a little bit earlier, is that in regards to the trading levels, the 5 is the second strongest number in the market after 1. And we can clearly see that the 50 is really pretty much the balance point for this correction. And this is what a correction does. It's really, when we look at the pattern over here for this, it's the arrival. In this case, the arrival was a little bit higher above the level here. No big deal. Sometimes it's just a little bit shorter, but it's depending on the pressure at that point. But the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then the correction down here, and then this here. So this is pretty much it, really. The arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and the rest of the correction. And once we get support on here, then the balance of this whole thing is flipped to the upside at this point. Yes, and of course it's possible that when a market moves through a level like this, it will come down and muck around here for a while, and it needs to reject it. So here it's rejected it here, but in a way it's gone straight through. So here it could go back and fail at that point and then move down from that point. That's another option, isn't it? I mean, what about if this is 5 waves down here? Now that we're sort of shooting the breeze a little bit, let's just go back to this one here. Let's just assume for a moment that we've all got it wrong totally. That this move down here, that somehow this is the top of the market here, and we've got this move down here, and we just move back to this 50-60% area over here. We have some, this move up here sort of moving along quite nicely. We've got wave 1 and 2 here, and then we've got 1 and 2 here, and we'll have 3 here and 4 here and 5 here, and then the 4 and the 5 for the C. So we could have all of this here as an A and a B and a C wave here for a larger wave 2. So I think that I did have that somewhere on here. I'm not sure. I'll just have a look. Not there. Maybe I don't have it, but I was working on it somewhere. It doesn't matter too much. I mean, I can just draw it out here. So what about if we got it totally wrong, and we've got this here as wave 3, 4 here, and then we've got, move this here, and then we've got wave 5 up here. I'm not saying this is the case, but like, I think it's important to take our heads out of the box and look at the bigger picture. This could be wave 2 coming back up here. It's probably not the case, and then we would have wave 3, 4 and 5. I mean, if the crypto market was going to fall out of bed totally, that's what it would look like. Or the other way to look at this as well, while we're up here, when we get up to this point, we would actually be at a larger wave 3 up here. So we could look at it slightly differently. We could look at it like wave 3 here and wave 4 here. I know this is a lot to take in, but we're just talking patterns, and I think it's a good good sort of learning process in a way, just to I mean, I was taught to put everything on the table that you can think of and then just eliminate them one by one to the highest sort of probability, So I don't normally share so many counts, but look, it's possible that we could have something like this here, and this wave 4 here comes back to this wave 4 over here. So that's possible as well. I mean, it has, a fifth wave here, it hasn't made a huge move above the previous top here as a fifth wave, but remember that as long as it's got 5 waves in here, it doesn't even need to take out the top. It could be a truncated fifth wave, So look, these are all the possibilities. But whichever way I see it, technology is going to be the winner in the end, and this is the new technology. So whatever happens in this space here, we're going higher. That's the way I see it, and that's why I've invested in Bitcoin, So, and I'm happy just to keep on buying when I've got some spare pocket money. Alrighty, so that's a lot to take in, but I think it's good to sort of shoot the breeze on all of this all the time. But at the end of the day, I think that we're looking at, let's just go back and have a look at this here. I think I just need to go to the hourly chart because I think we had some trades on here, so I'll just work with this for a moment. So this could be wave 2 over here, this low here, as 1 and 2, or this could be the low here. It doesn't really matter at this point. We went long here, we did all the right things, so wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here. Looks like it wants to go further up at this point here, but we've counted 5 waves up here, so, and even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's probably not too far off, but yeah. Anyway, we could just get a wave C back here and then we're off again. We're also, if the market does move up here, straight up from this point here, then we're working with 45 here. So when we're working with 45, same thing again, we have the arrival, the reaction. We're just looking really for the reaction in as an ABC here, but let's say that that's just it here. So when this moves up here, it will probably move close to 46, and then it'll also have a little correction across the 45 and then move up, and then we're in group 2 here. And if you know the trading levels, we'll spend a bit of time in group 2 before heading off to 50 and 40, we always call 8, which is the third strongest number, a profit-taking number. So we're going to see the traders take the short-term traders take profit at this point. So, I mean, in the bigger picture with all of this as well, just coming back and shooting the breeze here again, is that from the on-chain analytics, it's basically all the people that have all the long down here, a lot of the hodlers got sort of shaken out of the market, but over here they haven't been shaken out of the market. So they haven't really, nobody's really sold at this point. I haven't sold, but you know, my 4 or 5 Bitcoin don't make much really, but the general consensus is that nobody's really selling through all of this like they did over here. You know, they're more holding on here, so there is accumulation stages going on, and hopefully we'll see that with price action heading higher. Alrighty, I'll leave it all at that. A bit of food for thought anyway. Alrighty, cheers.